Thank you. Oh, listen to that Dinner in Hell band.
Oh, just cranking today.
Oh, they're tearing it up.
The crowd, thanks again for showing up and making it inside. Lucky you.
Everybody in the audience looking great tonight.
What the fuck? We got a clown in the audience?
See one of those creepy fucking clowns lurking around back there?
Dressed up and everything? Nice horn.
Hey, man, he's creeping the shit out of me.
Yeah, we are a podcast, so the horn will cut through, and we do not want to hear that.
Well, anyway, welcome to Dinner in Hell, where two amateur historians, me, Brad the Impaler,
And me, Ron Maiden.
will be taking a look at history's atrocious underbelly and all the fucked up shit that people have done in the past.
Yeah. In case you didn't know about it, in case your life was going along smooth and not knowing about it, too bad. You're going to learn about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, this week, we're going to be talking about some rebels, some outlaws.
Star Wars.
Well, Sea Wars.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, pirates.
So we're going to talk about, like, Jack Sparrow. We're going to talk about the Ice Pirates movie. We're going to talk about
all the
Blackbeard.
True things. Pirates have been around for a long time. The first mention of pirates in history comes from about the 14th century BCE from the ancient Egyptians.
What'd they have to say?
Well, they mentioned a group called the Sea People who would raid their ships and raid their cities along the coast to plunder them for their own gain.
I like the name Sea People way better. We're Sea People. We're a Sea People.
Yeah, it sounds mysterious.
We know the sea. Mother Sea guides us. I would call it Mother Sea if I was a sea person.
Yeah, probably. I'm with that.
I would call it whatever the tide brought in, is what I would call it. You know?
Yeah, see, so in the ancient world, there was a lot of pirating going on. In Greece, piracy was even seen as, like, an acceptable profession. It's like, I don't know how that would play out in a kindergarten class. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Like a pirate. And raid other ships and plunder cities. And they're like, oh, good for him.
Yeah, he's got ambition. At least he knows what he wants. He's going to go out and he's going to do it. And he's going to go out and he's going to take it.
Yeah, he's got that shit figured out. He's ahead of the game. What's your major? Oh, you know, pirating.
Navigating. You got to take like a couple credit hours of navigation. Star charts. Little kids like, what do you want to be? And they're like, I want to be a pirate. Okay, what do you want to be? And they're like, I want to be a baseball player. And like, I'll be like, what if I told you could be a baseball player and a pirate? Follow me to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Take my hand, son. Doug Drabeck is like a toddler. Hey, I can throw a clamshell as hard as a friggin'.
And he's really good at like zipping around on ropes through the rigging and stuff. Gotta be a good swimmer, though. Otherwise, you probably won't last too long.
You want to be a pirate, huh? Yeah. Well, then pronounce the letter R. R? Nope.
Sorry.
You got a lot to learn, son.
You're out.
All right. Wasn't piracy also, like, an option in the past of, like, let's say you were, like, you worked on, like, the Greece Navy or you worked in the Navy for, like, an army. Wasn't there, like, what if, like, once you're done with your army duty, didn't you have like a possible option for a career as a pirate?
Mm-hmm. A lot of the people who became pirates or who worked as crew on pirate ships were former sailors in a legitimate navy. Because that's the way you get the skills to do it.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the sort of character that'll let you fly straight, piracy's a natural use for those skills. You can make a lot of money, and for those types of people, probably have a lot of fun.
Imagine being a greenhorn pirate with no nautical experience, like getting seasick. Like, what's wrong with that guy? Weren't you in the Navy? No.
Yeah, that would probably suck. You'd probably get shit on by all the other people all the time.
I just loved reading pirate stories, so here I am. Like, bro, you're on a boat now forever.
Man, you got shit to do. Like, but I don't know. Have you ever been sailing?
Never been on a boat with sail power.
It's like hard. There's like a lot of shit to do all the time. You're constantly like moving ropes or.
It's involved.
It takes a lot of work.
I like just cruising.
Yeah, so they probably don't have that many people working for them that don't have some experience. Because, on those big ships, it's a ton of work. Everybody's got shit to do constantly.
Can't tie a square knot. Don't even fucking step on this boat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably like that. Well, and a lot of times, too, working on merchant ships or being like a regular Joe sailor in a Navy was fucking shitty. Like, they treated you real bad.
Yeah, and if you're below doing the oars, you're like a slave.
Yeah, so that a lot of pirate ships come from sometimes these Navy ships. People would just get pissed off. Then they all form together and rise up and kill the captain, and all of a sudden this ship that used to be in Her Majesty's service is now a renegade pirate ship.
I like the other option for what to do with the captain, where they just leave him somewhere.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay. Like, you can live, man. Live all alone. No one will bother you for the rest of your days.
Yeah, and the pirates that most people are familiar with, the historical kind of heavy hitters, most of them come from the golden age of piracy, which was the Caribbean in around 1500 to 1800 AD. Those are where, your Blackbeards and all of that are.
Yeah.
Like, we thought it would be interesting to bring you a few stories of some lesser-known pirate stories that struck out to me as pretty interesting.
Yeah, I didn't want to come here and talk about Blackbeard and friggin' Jolly Roger flags and Jack Sparrow. I want to learn something today.
Yeah, this is probably one of our less obscure kind of topics, so we thought we'd find some gems for you.
In that golden era, like, just because you're a pirate didn't mean you're all totally like looked down upon, because like some of the governments, they would be like, all right, look, as long as you're pirating them, we're cool. Like the Romans were like, you want to pirate Carthage boats, do it up, don't touch ours and we're cool.
Yeah, in the Caribbean there was a lot of that. Like the Great Britain would say, okay, like, we're not gonna give you shit for being a pirate as long as you only plunder Spanish ships and Spanish towns. And Spain did the exact same thing. Yeah. Spain was cool with it as long as you were only plundering British ships.
Yeah. Feels like a Jolly Roger flag, the skull and crossbones, but there was like a little bull head. You knew that was a Spanish allied. If it was like a little British flag hint, like the Australian flag has a little British flag on it. Like, it's a British-based pirate. I'm just making it up, you guys. You didn't learn that.
Yeah, and then, states still get up to that kind of nonsense today. Depending on whose bidding you're doing or who you're up against, you can either be a terrorist or a freedom fighter.
When I think of pirates, I think of warm waters. And you're talking about British pirates, I'm thinking,
Yeah, well, like in the colonies.
Okay. Like, so they could be British colonies, southern.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, the definition of pirate is anyone who commits a crime at sea. And we classify Vikings as pirates.
Yeah, a lot of the Viking raiding behavior could be characterized as piracy. They'd come kind of storming in on their ships.
Look forward to the episode where we discuss more Viking stuff.
Oh, I got a couple in my head I'm thinking of right now that we'll definitely get to.
If any of our listeners want us to get to Vikings sooner than you think we normally would, let us know.
Yeah, tweet at us.
That goes for any topic you want us to get to in a faster pace. We'll get to it. We'd love requests.
Mm-hmm. Well, so let's talk about some interesting stories regarding piracy. In 75 BCE, we're going to take it way back. A guy you may have heard of, named of Julius Caesar, was kidnapped by pirates.
Is he like a big casino guy?
Yeah,
casino chains.
Yeah, okay. Founded all of that.
He's a big boxing enthusiast.
Yeah, big in Las Vegas.
Okay, I've heard of him.
Well, he was kidnapped by pirates, and they asked for a ransom of 20 talents from him. 20 talents is a lot of money. That's roughly $600,000 in the modern day. So he was insulted by this because he was kind of a megalomaniac, and he said, no, ask for 50 talents. Like, you don't know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, throwing it in their faces. So more than double that.
Well, so, what was 20 talents equivalent of in modern day money?
$600,000.
Caesar's like, wait a second, let me get this straight. You contacted my people and told them 600,000. What'd they say? Tell me.
Yeah. He said, nah. Make it 50. Make it 50 talents.
which equals
Probably like close to 1.5 million. I can't do that math in my head right now, and I didn't write it down.
just carry the one.
And so he sends off his assistants, his entourage or whatever, to go get the money. And while they're gone, he basically treats the pirates like they're his subservient people, not his captors.
Yeah. He's not free to go, but he's still like taking control of the situation. He's got leadership in his blood.
Yeah, he spends his time like crafting and reciting poetry and speeches to them.
Yeah.
And they kind of like him. Like the pirates are like, this one's got moxie. Like we're okay with him.
Yeah, he's not going nowhere.
Yeah, so they're hanging out with them. They're playing games, but the whole time Caesar's like, you know, when I get out of here, I'm gonna kill all of you.
I thought you were going to say he's eyeballing an acoustic guitar in the corner of the ship. Like, oh, man, I just want to play you guys something I've been working on. Just try it out.
He probably would have if he were a singer-songwriter.
It's like, are those bongos? Pass them here.
Yeah, so they're hanging out. They're kind of partying. But the whole time, Caesar's throwing it in their face that he's going to come back and kill them. He's threatening and insulting them. And for whatever reason, they're just waiting for the money. Like, we're just going to get our money. We're having a good time. We're laughing at this crazy guy who says he's going to kill us. It took about 38 days, and they came back and brought the money. They brought 50 talents back and paid Caesar's ransom, and he left.
38 days of dealing with Caesar's poetry bullshit. Open mic night on the friggin' ship.
Yeah.
Pirate ship.
Mm-hmm. Well, I bet it was good, though. He seems like a charismatic guy.
They heard like one poem evolve into its final version by the end. Like, God damn it, we heard enough about the albatross. Jesus, the friggin' seabirds got it.
Yeah, so they come back with the money, and Caesar's released. And the first thing he does once he gets home is grab a few ships and head straight back to the island.
Yeah,
and rounds up all the pirates.
Yeah,
takes his money back.
And then what? High fives them and gets them all signed copies of his poetry books.
Well, he captures them, and he asks for permission to execute them all, and it's denied. And then he does it anyway, and he makes good on those wild threats that he was given, and he kills all the pirates that captured him.
So Julius Caesar is the emperor of Rome?
Not at this point in time, no. No, he's just a
regular, just a up and coming stud.
Yeah, he's like an up and comer at this point.
Oh, so he doesn't have the power to just kill on his own choice. He has to ask for the leaders for permission.
Well, he kind of has the power because he did it anyway, and he got away with it.
Mm-hmm. Like, look, they're pirates. What do you want me to do? They friggin' had me captive.
That's one of the reasons people make a lot of sort of equations between the modern day United States and Rome, because money in Rome, money got you what you needed.
What are you trying to say? America's all about money? That's a big farce. America hates money. I'm just kidding.
America's not the land of greed.
Eliminate money and we'll all live in peace.
I'm with that.
Okay. Money is everything. You see animals getting poached. You see rhinos' horns cut off. Why? Money.
Making scratch. Those rhino horns are making Chinese dicks hard or something. So
you see charity videos, people doing charity. Why? Because they can write off on their taxes, and in return, money. Right?
Yeah, that's why they do it.
Like, I would love to support your cause. Yeah, here's $25,000. Like, if you're a billionaire, it somehow benefits the person. Like, fuck money.
Yeah, and you have charities that like pay the CEOs like $2.5 million a year. Like, that makes any sense?
Yeah. Like, a company will go out of business because it's a little bit slow. Meanwhile, the CEO makes like, $4 million. Like, how about the CEO makes $80,000? $80,000 is a really nice life, depending how you live. You're not gonna have your own.
I mean,
chopper.
not like if you're in like New York City or LA or something, but if you're in a normal place, yeah, 80 grand's pretty nice.
Yeah. Do you have to have a giant mansion, or can you live in a humble residence that has whatever you need? Like
a normal people house.
Live simple. Just multi-million-dollar CEOs. It's aggravating.
Yeah, like 3 people need a fucking like 45-room house. Fuck out of here with that shit.
Because you're greedy as CEO. I don't have media play. Okay. I don't have what?
Circuit City.
Yeah, just because you had to have a yacht, I don't get a Circuit City. Okay.
All right, so we talked about a victim of piracy.
Okay.
Let's get to a pirate.
All right.
There was a French pirate by the name of Francois L'Olonnais.
Nice.
He started off as an indentured servant in Haiti, and he took to the piracy in the 1600s.
AD.
Correct.
Okay.
His crew was nearly wiped out by a Spanish naval vessel, and he took it like super personally.
Against Spain.
Yeah. So the next time he raided a Spanish ship, he killed everyone except for one guy, who he sent back with the message that never again shall he give any Spaniard quarter. And he did live up to that. Every single Spaniard that he came across after that, he killed. He didn't leave a single one alive.
He's like, when you get back to Spain, are you going to take off that Spanish naval outfit? And he's like, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, I will. He's
Yeah,
like,
see, that's what we thought.
That's
we
all-
don't we don't like it.
I was afraid of that. That's how I didn't want to see. That way we can't tell you apart from regular folk.
We like our Spaniards in uniform.
Yeah, so we're going to carve a bull, a toro, in your forehead. You son of a bitch.
Yeah, so and he was a pretty successful pirate too. At his high point, he commanded 8 ships and 400 men. So he was a mover and a shaker.
How do you control 8 ships? You have a flag signal system that all the boats watch, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have walkie-talkies, in 1600.
Yeah, I guess you'd call him an admiral.
This means like, that means hold steady, that means fire. Like, you can't send pigeons across boat to boat unless you just threw it. All right, I'm throwing this freaking note to you, bro. I got a big rock with a note tied to it, like, catch.
Yeah, I suppose
Catapult.
it could have been that, or it could have been like
A bottle.
a franchise type system.
They have an itinerary. They meet for huddle. Team
Yeah.
huddle.
Yeah.
Every morning's team huddle. Give me a P. I R. Who wants to be a pirate? We do. All right, today we're gonna rape and pillage.
Yeah.
If we find a slave ship, what are we gonna do? We're the slaves. No, we're gonna fucking keep them.
Yeah, like when you and your ship join up, you have to watch like a shitty training video.
Yeah, this is
Like,
how we do it.
welcome to Francois L'Olonnais Pirates.
Welcome to the Black Boat of Death.
Now, in
Today-
our pirate family,
Yeah, there's no fighting on the boat. You must wait until we arrive on shore to take out your differences.
yeah, and probably like a really shitty anti-union message.
Yeah. Did you know that there was codes? Each pirate ship had a code. Like some codes were like no fighting on the boat. Like if you wanted to fight the guy, you had to wait till you're on land, and then you could fight on land. Like you need to think about it. Think about it till we're on land, you two.
Fighting between crew members or like any kind of stealing or thieving was very frowned upon.
You know, like they would gain treasures. You know, pirate treasure and a treasure chest. Like that's great to imagine. But there was other treasures like cargo, like lumber was treasure. But yeah, so like let's say they divvy up. Oh, the codes would also be like what crew gets what. You know, like dividing of the treasure. So like, where does the crew keep like their gold bracelet that they were paid, or like their gold like fucking pot? Or, you know what I mean? Like, where would they keep it? Do they each have everyone have a locker? You know, are you bunking with other pirate crew, or are they going in your shit when you're out? You know, we're going into Haiti. I'm staying on the boat. I just don't feel like it. That dude's going through the cases.
Well, I assume a lot of it would come from like divvying it up all at once or divvying up the proceeds from sales. But a lot of the gold, that's why you see a lot of pirates. Like, that's why ear piercings and stuff became common and they wore tons of jewelry, is because that was the most convenient way to keep your wealth is on your person.
Yeah.
So, like, you get a gold earring, you don't want somebody to steal it, pop that sucker in your ear. Instead of leaving it, like, on a table or something.
I read that pirates would wear earrings. One of the things was to enhance their vision. That was somehow going to, like, help your vision. That's why they wore double earrings.
I don't even understand how they could have thought that.
I don't know. And another thing is the pirate eye patch. The eye worked under the patch. It's just that eye was kept used to the dark. What the hell? So he could like see below deck at night better with his dark eye. Like the eye was fine, but they just kept it for night vision eye. Like it was adjusted to the dark.
Now that makes sense. That is a real thing. That's the truth.
That's just science, man.
Yeah, it works too. Like if you find yourself suddenly in a dark room, if you just close your eyes for 10 to 15 seconds, you open them up, you'll see way better than you did when you first walked in.
Yeah.
So they were onto something there. The earrings, I don't think, helped their vision at all, though.
Right. Wasn't there freaking something odd about Francois? Didn't he attack a guy? I remember you telling me.
Oh, he was definitely a loose cannon. And if you were one of his prisoners and he was asking you questions, you better tell him what he wants to hear, because he got frustrated with a prisoner he had who wasn't answering his questions the way he thought he should, and he just out of nowhere yanked out a knife, jumped on the guy, carved his heart out, and started eating it raw.
Eating his heart raw. I mean, it's so gross.
Yeah, it's really gross.
I'm a real picky eater. So anytime it's like eating in these stories, I'm like, ugh. Like I don't eat a lot of regular normal food. I'm real picky. So like eating raw heart, like Bizarre Foods would be like, I don't know, it's a little metallic tasted.
Yeah.
Bizarre Andrew Zimmer would be like, one thing I don't eat is Spam and raw heart.
Now forever, I'm gonna imagine that Francois Lolonais just looks like Andrew Zimmern with like a gold tooth
and two earrings,
an eye patch on. Yeah,
with a suntan from Haiti, Haitian suntan, and an anger for Spaniards.
Yeah, just kind of waddling around eating weird stuff.
So you're saying like Dinner in Hell Facebook or Twitter should have a picture made of Andrew Zimmer just ripping a guy's heart out?
Yeah, that sounds good
possible.
to me.
We have our media people do it, maybe.
Yeah, our media department. Get on that, guys.
2017, we have a media department. Just saying, new staff.
Yeah, but he met a kind of a rough end too, and the Spanish eventually got their revenge on him. While being pursued by the Spanish, his ship that he was on ran aground in Panama. And they were trying to make their escape on foot, and they ran into these people called the Kuna tribe that were natives of Panama. And at first he thought, hey, this is better than getting stuck with the Spanish, because you know what they're going to do to him. But the Kuna didn't let him off that easy either, because they were cannibals and they ate Francois Lolonais and his crew.
God. If you were Francois and you ran aground on the shore,
mm-hmm.
and you saw, what would you rather see, Spanish flags or skulls decorating everywhere? Skulls, like headhunters would have, cannibals have like skulls decorating, we love skulls.
Yeah, I don't think there's...
You gotta know something's up when you see skulls everywhere. Cannibals didn't hide that shit. They put fear into people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know about these ones specifically, but yeah, running into a cannibal tribe, although it's something that I can say probably for a fact I do not ever have to worry about happening to me, is that's still terrifying on sort of like a primal level.
I'm visualizing cannibal tribes, the terror in the victim knowing what's going to happen. I mean, well, Francois ripped a man's heart out raw and ate a piece of it raw. I imagine he's probably like, hey, I get it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I don't blame you.
I hunger for human flesh. I get it. I know what you're going through. Hey, I'll be honest with you. My body tastes like shit. Okay? But that guy over there, his whole bloodline is good. I've tried it. That fat guy, it's fat as flavor.
Yeah, you could make a nice stew out of him.
Yeah. Go for the leg and buttock. I'm telling you. Fat on top, let it drip down over the meat as you roast it. We're giving cannibal tips here for those listening, for the children out there.
Yeah, but I forgot. So Lolonais himself was probably definitely could be considered a cannibal to some extent. So this is probably poetic justice. It's a comeuppance.
Can you please with the horn? Can somebody... The clown horn?
Motherfucker, I'm sick of that.
Brad, will you do something?
He's been staring at me. That's it. I'm going to take care of this.
Okay, Brad, we do have a show to go, so make this quick. Just grab right, whatever's sharp. Fucker. Brad's getting up. He's walking out the studio. Brad's taking the end of the broom off the broom handle, and Nice, Brad. Brad has just impaled a clown with a broom handle. All right, we good? You want to clean up? You want to wipe your hands off? You're just going to go?
No, I'll leave the signs as a warning to others.
Okay, let's gather. Brad just killed a clown.
All right.
Brad the Impaler, what do you expect?
So don't lurk around here looking all creepy.
Yeah, if you're going to be in our audience, don't bring anything that makes noise. Silence your phone. Pirates, where were we? Okay, the French guy got killed by cannibals, which is ironic because...
He was one.
Yeah, he ate human body parts.
All right, so we can talk about another kind of heavy hitter from the golden age of piracy.
Blackbeard.
No. Everybody knows too much about Blackbeard, and he didn't really do anything that fucked up. But we can talk about the person who mentored Blackbeard, Benjamin Hornigold.
Is this the pirate that aged in reverse? Like he was born an old man pirate, and then over time he grew into a young man?
Yeah, that
really attractive.
When he was a baby pirate, it was so adorable.
Yeah.
He had his hat was too big.
Aw.
He had a little. He had, instead of a peg leg, he had one of those little, like, baseball bats they used to give you in the crowd back in the day.
Souvenir bat, dude.
Yeah.
Like he was born with half a leg.
He was adorable.
You could tell his daddy was a pirate because look, no lower leg.
Yeah.
Just like his daddy. Did you know? Just to touch on old Blackbeard, we're not gonna get into this, dude, but his peg leg was from diabetes. He didn't lose it from a cannonball or nothing like a shark. He lost it because he fucking liked the sweets. He drank Faygo Red Pop too much.
Well, it could have been type 1. You never know.
Yeah. Maybe he was killed by a diabetic person. So diabetes didn't kill him. It was a diabetic navyman. Okay.
All right. Well, Benjamin Hornigold was an English pirate down there in the Caribbean, and he was mainly successful because he had like the most badass ship on the ocean. He had a 30-gun sloop. It was huge.
By gun, you talking cannon barrels hanging off the side?
Yes, cannons.
You're talking single-shot pistols.
Nope. So nobody else on the ocean could really put up much of a fight against him. If he ran into you, you were either kind of gave up or he'd sink your ass because he had one of the most badass ships on the ocean. You had tons of weaponry. But one of my favorite thing about Benjamin Hornigold is sometimes he just did it for the fuck of it. And there's one example where he pulls up on a ship, gets them to surrender, and steals nothing from them except demands that every member of the crew give up their hats.
Why?
Because all of his crew got drunk the night before and lost all their hats.
Was there like some kind of friggin' sporting event? Like someone had like a hat trick and like a joust? Like, I killed 3 men. That's a hat trick. Toss your hat, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how an entire crew loses all their hats, but when your captain's like kind of in it for the lulls, yeah, you can just like hijack a ship. Could you imagine the roller coaster of emotions the victims of that pirate raid must have gone through?
Oh shit, we're about to just be knifed.
Well, first thing you see out on the horizon, approaching with the Jolly Roger in the air, is the most badass ship on the block.
Like, think Star Wars, like the Star Destroyer moving in.
Yeah, like the fucking, like, just a terror on the ocean coming at you. You probably try to get away for a while, but when you realize you can't, then you have to surrender to these pirates. And you're waiting to get boarded, you're waiting to get stabbed or shot. You're waiting for all kinds of horrible shit to happen, and here comes this. He just demands your hat. That's it.
We came for your hats. That's it. You don't want my head with it? Just a hat. Take it. I got more hats. We got hats. This is a hat vessel.
Yeah, here, take them.
We're shipping hats. As a matter of fact, we have cases of hats.
Yeah, it'd be like walking down the street, like a dark alley, and all of a sudden you see somebody walking your way, looking sketchy. Case in the area, hands in his pockets.
Pulls out a gun.
Yeah, and you can see it happening. You can see him. He looks at you, makes eye contact, beeline,
Give me those mittens, dog.
Yeah. Pulls a gun on you and is like, I lost my mittens last night because I was drunk. You better cough up those mittens right now. And you're like, okay, here's some mittens. Like the fear, and then something we don't often get to talk about on this show, washing into relief.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, because all he did was take the hats and then he let him go. He let him
hatless. Embarrassing. Yeah. Like, you take a man's hat, you're taking away his pride. You're taking away his life.
Take my pride.
His soul.
Leave me with my money and life.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Talk about a good break.
The other pirates on the crew were like, are you friggin' serious? We're not going to get nothing else. We got a hunger for raiding.
Yeah. Wackiness coming out of Benjamin Hornigold. I like a little whimsy in my criminals.
Hornigold's like, don't worry, there's plenty of more boats where we're headed. All kinds of treasure and women to do things.
Yeah, but he could do that because he could take any ship he wanted at will. He was immensely powerful.
So, like, got any girl posse pirates? Is there any famous women that were pirates? I'm sure you found something.
Well, as a matter of fact, I did read about one woman pirate.
One single. There was only one.
One that I found. And these reports may not be the most reliable. I saw a little bit of conflicting information as well, too.
Did you get was your source amateur history source? And now you're amateurly reporting it? Yeah,
that's true. I got the most of the information I'm going to talk about was from a Cracked article. I did find an article on her on Wikipedia too that it was a little different, so this might not be 100% fact, but it's worth it.
So, like a lot of people, you go for your history facts at cracked.com. Have you ever tried madmagazine.com?
That is not... Cracked isn't like that anymore. I suggest you check it out. There's all kinds of good shit on there. Lots of fun stuff.
I'll trust you. Thanks for plugging fucking Cracked.
But she did exist. She did exist, but this might not be exactly how she was in fact. But she was also the part of the inspiration for the character of Hellcat Maggie in Gangs of New York. If you've seen that.
Cameron Diaz's character?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's the first person I thought of was like Gang of New York era.
Yeah,
because she was she was involved in street gangs, right?
Mm-hmm. And Sadie Farrell, also known as Sadie the Goat,
greatest of all time.
Mm-hmm. has been in it is mentioned in historical novels. So she existed, but maybe not exactly like this. Well, she was a street gangster. What her famous kind of move is she'd see a guy walking down the street alone, and she would headbutt him in the stomach out of nowhere. I think that's why they called her the Goat.
Why would that even be effective?
Knock the wind out of him, stun him.
When the way you say it like paints the picture of like Sadie's walking down the sidewalk. You got this guy walking down the sidewalk, just jolly walking, like only two people on the streets. Do you think this is like a crowded hustle and bustle, like borough, like
yeah,
New York
that's
borough,
probably
like
made it even
people
more
coming
effective.
and going.
Yeah, because then out of nowhere, here she comes slamming into your rib cage. And then while you were trying to catch your wind, she'd grab your wallet, grab your watch, and be out of there.
Start chewing on your pant leg like a goat. That's why I thought she got the nickname because she would gnaw on people's like sleeves when you're petting her. You like pet her and she's like, "What's up with the sleeve? Tastes good."
Yeah, if you don't want to get robbed, you just got to keep like a handful of corn kernels.
She had no front top teeth, like a goat, like gummed everything. Fucking Sadie.
Yeah, so I think that's where she got her nickname from, is because of all the headbutting. But she was walking through Manhattan once, and she saw the Charlton Street Gang unsuccessfully trying to board a small ship. They couldn't do it. There's a couple of people on the ship repelling them.
Yeah.
So she went up to them and offered her services as leadership, and within a couple of days, they managed to capture a much larger ship.
I'm sure they were totally into having a woman lead them back then. Oh, yeah, sure. We'd love to have a female leader back here in, was it 1600s? 1869?
They must have been into it to some extent. And she was also apparently totally crazy because she also wore the ear of a rival gangster around her neck as a trophy because she had bitten it off.
Yeah. You bite an ear off, you wear it. I mean, it's kind of like everyone knows that. Once you bite someone's ear off, you pretty much got to like wear it on your clothes for everyone to see.
And to be fair, she got results. She captured the ship within a couple of days when they were working under her direction.
Imagine how many jokes she could pull out with that little charm of hers at that ear. Be like, what? Talk to the ear because Sadie's not listening. Like, pulling the ear out. What? I can't hear you. Not only does it create a comedic gesture, but it also is a threat. Like, I will cut your ear off. This will be your ear next. I'll have two.
Yeah. Well, and she was a river pirate. What her and her new gang would do is they were basically marauding up and down the Harlem and the Hudson rivers and attacking outside of town, small towns and farms. Kidnapping people for ransom, raiding them for their valuables. And this lasted for a few months until the farmers kind of got organized. And then once they were ready for her, she abandoned her life of piracy and presumably went back to regular street crime.
Headbutting dudes.
Much richer. Yeah.
Headbutting guys. Probably stabbing. I imagine women doing a lot of stabbing.
Yeah, probably a lot of stabbing, a lot of shooting.
Guys probably like force women a lot of times to grab them. Come here, bitch. She's probably had a knife in her stocking. Like, don't worry.
Yeah, stick you. Yeah, if that's the case, you get what's coming to you.
Or like in their hair, like Japanese. Oh yeah. They kept like pins in their hair. Imagine the shit was sharp as hell. Double poke in the neck.
Yeah, I'd put you down.
Sadie.
All right, so acting up as a pirate or being the victim of a mutiny could get you in trouble into a lot of ways.
Like being lashed.
Yeah, there were lots and lots of beatings. There were kind of three main ways that pirates would deal with people that they wanted to get rid of, and the first one we're going to talk about is the most famous, and it's something everybody's heard, and it's walking the plank.
What is that? Never heard of it. Explain it to me.
Well, being made to walk the plank was generally the result of the mutiny. So if you were a captain that the crew decided to turn on and either make that ship a pirate ship, or if you were a pirate that the crew hated because you didn't treat them fairly enough, what they would do is extend a plank of wood over the side of the ship, and they would bind your hands and feet so that you wouldn't be able to swim or tread water. And then at sword or gun point, they would march you off the end of it, generally into shark-infested waters.
It didn't even have to be shark-infested. It could just be really wavy. Have you ever been in a wave pool?
Yeah.
As an adult, out-of-shape person? And the waves come and you're like, I'm not ready for this.
It could be a kiddie pool if you have your arms and feet tied, you're done.
Yeah.
But the shark-infested water just adds an extra degree of terror to it.
Yeah.
And probably fun for the people who are doing it.
I would be like, hold up. I know the best jellyfish patches.
Oh. Have you ever been stung by a jellyfish?
Strip them nude. Toss them.
Oof.
Walk the plank nude in the jellyfish patch.
Yeah,
I've never been stung by jellyfish.
Awful.
I've seen them on shore, but I've never seen them like swimming.
Yeah, I've seen jellyfish stings. Never been caught by one.
Supposed to pee on it immediately. The ammonia neutralizes the sting.
Is that a real thing?
I don't know. I just love peeing on people's legs. I love that.
Just like a weird, creepy guy trolling around the beach like, hey, you get stung?
You get stung, you sure?
Hey,
looks
did
like
you
a
get
sting.
stung?
Looks like a sting.
Yeah, I can help you with that.
I gotta piss like a racehorse. Hold still.
The only guy on the beach in a trench coat.
This is so fucked up. Dinner in Hell launches a new episode. We discuss pirates. We discuss gangs in New York. We discuss piss fetish. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, but I don't know about you, but I have like an irrational fear of sharks too.
Really?
Yeah, I'm terrified of sharks.
I don't care. It's just an animal to me.
Yeah, sharks are horrifying and strange.
Sharks are just animals living, man.
Yeah, I know that intellectually.
Okay.
But in my heart, I'm terrified of them.
Okay.
But it's like, even if I'm getting into a lake, like, I know sharks live in salt water, but like, if I can't see the bottom, like, it's in the back of my head.
Could be freshwater sharks in there.
Well, yeah, I'm not
Kalkaska, Michigan.
Yeah, but you never know. Like, there could be anything under that water.
Yeah, like a leech. I'm more afraid of leeches than I am of sharks.
Yeah, stuff you really have to worry about.
I'm more worried about some weird snail piercing my toe than I am of a shark coming ashore, like in the swimming area. There's more chance you're going to get leeched or stung by a jellyfish than bit by a shark.
Yeah, but leeches don't really even hurt.
But they suck your blood and they live off your blood and your body.
Yeah, but then you can just yank them off.
With what?
Your hand?
No, you can't touch them. They'll stick to your hand too.
Yeah, you can touch them.
No, they'll live inside you.
You can also I got a leech one time.
They'll race up your arm into your ear hole. And that's it. It's over.
They do not move quickly.
They race.
I got a leech one time when I was real young, and I was freaking out about it. I was freaking out about it, and my grandma was just like, "Come here." And she just took the cigarette from her mouth and put it out on the leech, and the leech let go and fell off and died.
Nowadays they say like, "Oh, when you burn a leech, it vomits. It makes it vomit. It vomits into your wound that it created on you. Like, you're not supposed to burn it off. You're supposed to just take water and like pull it and splash it off like naturally."
Yeah, but that's way less metal of a way to deal with it.
I'm thinking like chop the limb off above the leech bite. Like, fucking, I don't need this calf lower leg anymore. It's with the leech now. Enjoy my leg, leech.
Ooh. Yeah, that might be overkill. That might be a little bit too much.
I'm from tough bloodline. Did I say bloodline twice this episode?
I think so.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, but other types of ocean life leads us to the next form of punishment that was sometimes meted out by pirates to pirates, and that's known as keel hauling.
What's that?
Well, keel hauling it was generally ascribed for people who would cheat their fellow crewmen. And what this involved is taking you on one side of the boat and tying you up with a line or rope from the rigging. And they would run the line underneath the boat, and then they would drag you underneath it.
Yeah, from one side to the other. And your body naturally floats, so your body is going to be raked across the bottom surface of the boat.
There were two possible outcomes that were dependent upon the speed with which the line was drawn. So if it was drawn quickly, you would get scraped up on the barnacles and all the other hard ocean life that attaches to the bottom of ships. And scraped up is definitely an understatement. This would generally result in things like loss of limbs or decapitation.
Yeah, you come out of there. I mean, if the barnacles and the surface of this boat is so coarse and rough and harsh, that it would... If it's capable of ripping off limbs and heads, think of what it's capable of you just coming out barely harm. I mean, it could just rip your skin off and come out with your head still, but no skin on your head.
Yeah, either way, you're probably dying. Because the other alternative is if they keel haul you slowly, the scrapes and stuff will be less severe and your body weight might allow you to sink a little bit, but this would involve you drowning, which also to me seems like an insanely terrifying and terrible way to die.
I'm starting to wonder, would you consider our show a glass half empty show?
No.
Well,
I wouldn't.
I feel like my last comment was half empty. Like,
yeah, maybe.
There's no report of this, but I imagine someone's being disfigured at least.
At the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Keel hauling was definitely used as a death penalty. But hey, man, don't cheat your fellow crew members. You ain't got to worry about it.
So when I've heard stories of like being like walk the plank, keel hauling, I haven't heard much about keel hauling, and this is the most I've ever talked about it in my life. I'll be honest with you. But there's always been stories of like castaways. You know, like they have people, they'd banish them to an island.
Yeah, well. It doesn't sound that bad at first when sometimes the way they would put this punishment as being made the governor of an island. Sounds pretty cool, right?
Yeah, sweet, my own island.
Well, the proper term for this is marooning. And what it wouldn't be, you'd be made the governor of the island, but you'd also be the only citizen, and the island would be completely deserted. And with no hope of escape.
How big of an island? I mean, can I like freaking grow crops on this island?
Well, sometimes.
Or is it like a sandbar? It's low tide. You can see it.
Sometimes it was just a sandbar at low tide. So you only have a matter of hours until you're going to be floating. And what you were generally left with was a small bit of food, a little bit of fresh water, and a pistol with a single bullet.
God darn it. Or like, wouldn't they give you like a bottle of alcohol? Anything? Like, get messed up. One last brandy.
I suppose if they were especially generous, they'd allow you this courtesy.
Yeah.
But this was often the result of mutinies as well. They'd take the deposed captain and maroon him on a desert island.
Not just captains, not just pirate captains or like captains of Navy vessels, but like there's also famous military figures.
Mm-hmm. And that's how we know that marooning wasn't always fatal either, is Napoleon was exiled and marooned on an island, and he managed to escape twice.
That's Napoleon, though. Not everyone's Napoleon.
Well, the pirate captain Edward England also managed to escape being marooned.
But Napoleon did it twice.
Yeah, so
Napoleon was something.
Yeah, people make a joke out of him too much, but like it's easy to forget. Like he kind of conquered most of the whole world.
He created the first water park, Waterloo. He like was the first creator and like originator of water parks.
Yes.
That's what I thought. I don't know. That might not be accurate.
Well, and he can't be blamed as much as the people after him because he was the first one to make the mistake of trying to start a land war in Russia in the winter.
Nice try, Napoleon. Was he like 5'1"?
No, actually, Napoleon was the exact same height as me. 5'8".
You're 5'8"?
Yeah.
I'll still talk to you, man. It's cool. I won't look down on you for being that height. 5'8". I was 5'8" in 7th grade.
I probably was too. I just stopped there.
5'8" in 7th grade, 6 foot in 9th grade. What's up?
Oh, I just looked it up. Never mind. I'm taller than Napoleon. He was 5'6".
Oh, okay. Yeah, fuck Napoleon. Little 5'6" ass. I'm just kidding. If you're 5'6" out there, what are you going to do? We're all just people inside these bodies. No matter how big or tattooed someone is, they're just a person in there.
Yeah, but shit, he's still like 2 inches taller than Tom Cruise.
I know. Fuck Tom Cruise, though. 5'4". Get out of my face. I'm afraid to meet movie stars because I would just dwarf them. I got my picture taken with Ronnie James Dio, and I'm 6'5", and it's like I could just pick him up in my hand, like, here, little fella. You the last in line? Come here. You lost? There's some small celebrities out there.
Yeah. I don't know why that is. And I don't know how they managed to make him look so big. This is good cinematography.
They shoot him from below, and they put short people around him. And they have him stand on things.
Yeah, but I mean, he could have been. So, like, if you're short, I guess you can either be an actor or a jockey.
Yeah. Or a host. This Ryan Seacrest is kind of a small person, I think.
Or, in my case, you can be a podcast host.
Yeah, you could. It depends on how much talent you have.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm the one who's dumb enough to tell you I'm short. You wouldn't have known otherwise.
Yeah, we're creating through sound. We're creating the illusion that Bradley Impaler is 6'3".
Yeah, my microphone stand is higher than yours.
So you're the leader of a ship. You're the captain of a ship, and you have a mutiny.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of reasons do you think that you would trigger a mutiny, like not fulfilling the payment of your crew, or?
Oh yeah, not paying them, not divvying up shit fairly, treating them unfairly, working them too hard, being mean.
Yeah.
I mean, all it takes is enough of them to turn on you to be able to win, and you're done for. And then you find yourself alone.
Food runs low.
Yeah, if things get dicey.
Food runs low and you skip a port. You're like, no, we'll get the next port. We got a schedule to get you. No, we're running out of oranges.
Yeah,
no.
That could make them nice and pissed. Then you find yourself alone on a desert island with a single bullet, a little bit of food, some fresh water, and a bottle of rum.
Let's say you're put on an island like Castaway, but you don't have Castaway's shit like the FedEx boxes. All you have is the gun, like a bottle of liquor, glass bottle with a cork, a little bit of food. How do you survive? You got trees and shelter.
Yeah, well, the first thing you got to be able to do is collect water.
Okay, like I said, it rains. Mm-hmm. So you have the bottle of rum.
Yeah,
you could use that to store water.
Mm-hmm, you could use like leaves to form bowls to catch the rainwater and funnel to put it in the bottles.
Yeah.
I could make a fire.
Shells to hold water.
I could make a fire without matches or a lighter or anything.
Rubbing wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once you get a fire going, then you can make a pottery out of clay to store water in.
Look at you, freaking whipping up a kiln and shit.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Once you smoke meats.
Once you get a fire, you can do all kinds of stuff.
You can smoke iguana. You'd be surprised how long iguana meat lasts after you put a nice dry rub on it and smoke it.
Yeah. See, where I would die is because I would have no fucking idea how to get food. Unless it was just like crawling with coconuts and stuff, then I'd be fine.
You'd have a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
Look, I'm so sick of freaking Almond Joy, dude. Thanks for saving me, but this candy, like Castaway, they're like, have as much seafood as you want, as much crab legs as you want. Tom Hanks is like, seriously? I just want ice.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to make like a net or anything, or I don't know how good of a spear fisherman I'd be.
Do you know how to weave, like braid? You ever made like a friendship bracelet? Mm-hmm. You could like take leaves and like make ropes by using the friendship bracelet braid. You can make ropes that way, and you could like, I don't know, make ropes.
Yeah, well, I got on a big kick on YouTube where I watched a bunch of stuff about primitive technology. So I have some idea of what I'd be doing, but I don't, I mean, like, I don't know.
Snakes to eat, seafood. You could probably catch like whatever lived near the shore.
Yeah, I mean, spearfishing would probably be hard.
Because, like I said, they gave you a little bit of food. Mm-hmm. Use that little bit of food for bait. Like, chum the water and then grab fish.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they left you meat. But the reason they would get scurvy is because they had nothing to eat except these hard bread biscuits. That's what they'd be eating the entire time they're out. That's probably what they give you. It'd be shitty fish bait.
Yeah, you wouldn't be getting like a lime, and because scurvy is lack of vitamin C. That's why there'd be like crates of limes on these long trips, Columbus and shit.
It's good for the gin and tonics.
Yeah, sliced lime. Key lime pie. They give you a slice of key lime pie and rum and a gun. Now it's probably like some hard ass bread, probably a potato, one that they could spare.
A raw one that you just kind of gnaw on.
It's got a branch coming out. Half of it's purple inside.
Ugh.
Soft.
Yeah, but I'd die trying to get food, I think, if I was marooned on a desert island. What about you?
I would be fine with it as long as I didn't have medical problems. Like kidney stone appendix, like, yeah.
Yeah, those could definitely come up to haunt you real fast.
Tooth. Wisdom tooth abscessed. But if you had an infection in your head, I had an infection in my eye. I was in the hospital for a few days. Mm-hmm. The important thing is, the serious thing is that it's near your brain.
Oh, yeah.
So you get an infection in your ear, your nose, your eye. You want to get that looked at because it's so close to your brain. You don't want it spread to your brain.
Yeah, then you wouldn't be able to work. You wouldn't be able to do the things you need to do to survive, and you'd be done pretty quick.
You just wait it out. Probably drown yourself. Well, you got that single shot left. You're like, I'll take care of this tooth. I'm going to aim at the tooth. If it hits my brain, oh well.
Oh, that would be the worst kind of surgery I could imagine.
I would hold on to that gun for another boat that came by and be like, oh, come on, no, let me on the boat. And I'd be like, it's my boat now, bitch.
Yeah.
You hear that sound?
Well, you might get rescued from time to time. I mean, pirates, they're probably not the most diligent folk. They probably wouldn't go too out of their way to do it. So maybe another ship could come along.
Yeah. We need a new guy. We need a crew hand. I'm a former captain. We think you're qualified for this position.
You're like, I don't know.
We think you'll get burnt out too quick, and
We'd like to have you, but it looks like you're itching for revenge, and you probably want to take your own ship to do it. So,
how about Napoleon's second time being marooned? They're like going to circle around him like it was like a Napoleon, can we talk to you for a second? Like down here, and they're like, he's like, psst, I already know what's fucking coming. It's like intervention, Napoleon. He's like, I've been marooned before. I can see the look in your eyes.
Yeah, talk about not learning your lesson. Should have just executed him.
The roast of Napoleon. Like, lots of people have been roasted, or lots of people have been marooned to an island twice in their career. Not. Like, Abe Vigoda. Abe Vigoda's there in the crowd laughing. Hologram of Abe Vigoda.
I think Abe Vigoda's still alive.
He's dead.
Is he?
Yeah. That's why I said hologram. Like Tupac. I don't know. When he died, I posted a picture of Scatman Crothers from The Shining. I'm like, rip. It's not Abe Vigoda. That's not him. I hate that. People are dumb and they fucking... It's not Bill Bonds, it's Mort Krim, dude. Thanks for coming. Thanks for checking in and taking the time to reveal your intelligence. Yeah.
Well, do you think you'd do any better than us surviving marooned on a desert island?
Yeah.
If you do, let us know.
Yeah. Let us know what we said wrong.
Yeah,
what you would do right.
You can tweet to us at dinnerinhellpod. You can email us at dinnerinhellpodcast@gmail.com. We're at dinnerinhell.com. We're on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, and Stitcher. We're everywhere. You can get at us anywhere.
What did we learn today, Brad?
We learned pirates were pretty fucking cool, but they did some fucked up shit to each other.
I learned that you can kill a man dressed as a clown with a broomstick. By you. A nice job, by the way. You're 1 for 1.
I couldn't take it. I couldn't take these clowns anymore. I needed to make an example out of one.
Yeah, I mean, we should have never let him in here dressed like that. We knew he was going to be trouble.
Yeah, we probably should have known better.
We could probably burn him out in the yard. Out on the roof. We'll put him on the roof. We'll do a burning. We'll do a live stream.
And remember, NSA agents listening to this, clowns aren't real people, so it's okay.
Yeah. I think it was a juggalo. He's a gang member. Dinner in Hell Band, ladies and gentlemen.
Bringing it back in. Real hot. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Ron, for a great show. Thanks to the audience. Thanks to you listeners at home.
Thank you, Brad.
Have a great night.